Today, boys and girls, we're going to learn about the parts of a plant and why a flower is so important. Hi, great boys and girls. I have another book to share with you by Ruth Heller, one of my favorite authors and illustrators. This book is called The Reason for a Flower. Ruth Heller does something really cool at the beginning and the end of her books, and I forgot to point that out on my other one, but this is what she does. She shows us a little image and sometimes words, and then she repeats it at the end. So let's see if we can find it at the end. This one has become a plum. This one what? What do you think? This is a flower, but it's not always a flower. Look at the progression. Let's read and find out more. The reason for a flower. Now wait a minute. These aren't flowers. What could she be talking about? Birds and bees. And these. And these sip nectar from the flowers. Nectar is in all capitals, and Ruth Heller wants you to know this new word, nectar. Nectar is what is inside of flowers that animals drink and get their nutrition from. And as they search for more and more pollen from the flower before it goes to the next one, they explore. So the flower has two things. It has nectar and it has pollen, and insects depend on it. Some pollen travels in the breeze without the help of birds or bees and very often makes you sneeze. I know you've seen pollen in the spring and you probably have sneezed from it. From an anther on a stamen to a stigma on a style, pollen grains must travel and stay a little while, and then you'll see the reason for each flower. Even weeds. The reason for a flower is to manufacture, there's that ellipses again, we have to wait for it. What do you think the flowers manufacture? That means to make. Seeds. Wait a minute, I want to go back to the front cover for just a moment. Remember when we stopped right here and I said, those aren't flowers, so what are they? They're seeds. Seeds that have a cover of one kind or another. Some grow inside a juicy fruit, and it's not odd to find them growing in a pod. I bet you've seen peas that grows in a pod. And I know that you have eaten some of these kinds of fruits and vegetables. The largest one is a coconut. Did you know a coconut is a seed? It's huge. Seeds travel far and wide. Some even like to hitch a ride upon a bike or on a shoe. Squirrels hide them and forget they do. Some have burrs that stick to furs and travel at a gallop. So those little sticky things that get stuck to your shoestrings, those are seeds. Seeds can settle anywhere. They find water, sun, and air. And then they grow roots and stems and leaves. These are the parts of the plant that I promised we would learn about. The leaves, stems, and roots all come from the seed. Some seeds grow up to be trees. Wow. These grow where it's very dry. Tell someone at home where you think these plants might grow. Where do you think they might grow that's very dry? Did you say desert? I think you're right. And these grow where it's wet. Where are some places that might be wet? A pond, a swamp, a river, a lake. These are the types of flowers you would find there. These may not look like flowers, but they're the most important yet. Rice and barley, corn, and wheat are cereals that we need to eat. Millet and bamboo are a treat for, what do you think eats bamboo? Animals who don't like meat. Here's another important word she wants to teach you. They are called herbivores. Herbivores. Animals that don't eat meat are called herbivores. And all of these animals don't eat meat, so that's why a seed is so important. Would you believe these plants eat meat? And they are called carnivorous. That is another important word. Carnivores eat meat. This is a Venus flytrap. You may have heard that before, and I don't know the names of all of these, but even some plants eat meat, especially insects and flies. The largest flower ever found grows in the jungle near the ground. A parasite clinging tight to roots of trees that feed it. It's 3 feet wide, or maybe 4, weighs 15 pounds and sometimes more, and has a nasty odor. Rafflesia is its name. Can you say that with me? Rafflesia. That's a silly name. But here's a flower that owes its fame to smelling very sweet. And scientists agree that magnolias seem to be a prehistoric family. This is a magnolia. I'm sure you've seen a magnolia. All flowers are angiosperm. That's an ancient Grecian term. Can you say it with me? Angiosperm. All flowers are angiosperm. Here are just a very few products made from them for you. We have straw, paper, wood, candy, coffee comes from seeds, tea, popcorn, pasta, a cork, perfume comes from seeds, bread, medicine, rubber, cotton, and even rope. Don't forget chocolate. Chocolate comes from seeds too. Plants that have no flowers are fascinating too. And these are called fungi. Look what I told you about at the beginning. Ruth Heller likes to do at the end. Do you recognize this picture? This one has become a plum. So what is it? It went from a flower to a seed to a fruit. Thank you for listening, boys and girls. I hope you enjoyed learning about the reason for a flower.